We live in a world that rewards noise and punishes depth. Yet some of us cannot abide by shallow currents. We think, we analyze, we observe. And it is in this relentless clarity that our burden begins. Intelligence is not merely a gift, it is a silent weight that few can carry without scars. Point 1. The loneliness of understanding. To be highly intelligent is to walk a path most will never see. It is a silent awareness, a perception of layers beneath the surface that others overlook. It is the knowledge that the world is not as simple as it appears, that motives are rarely pure, and that truth often hides beneath a veil of distraction. And yet, this awareness comes with a weight called loneliness. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Nowhere can a man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own mind." But the mind of the highly intelligent is rarely quiet, for it constantly interprets, questions, and analyzes. We observe behaviors others accept without thought, notice hypocrisy others ignore, and feel emotions more intensely because we understand their complexity. This understanding, while a gift, separates us. Most people will never comprehend why we see the world as we do, and so we stand apart, even in a crowd. Loneliness here is not mere physical isolation, it is the isolation of perception. We recognize truths that others deny. We feel the weight of choices that others dismiss. And because our minds refuse to compromise with ignorance, we are compelled to move through life with a subtle, almost invisible detachment. Like Seneca, who reminded us that it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. We see the urgency in understanding and the futility in distraction. Those around us cannot always follow this vision. They cannot always endure the relentless questions we carry. This solitude, however, is not weakness, it is strength disguised as isolation. Being alone in understanding allows us to cultivate clarity, self-control, and wisdom. It gives us the space to reflect, to discern truth from illusion, and to shape our character unshaken by the noise of the crowd. And yet, this path is bitter. We may crave companionship, but we cannot compromise our depth for the sake of connection. Relationships are tested when intellect meets superficiality. Most cannot tolerate the intensity of a mind that probes too deeply, that refuses comfort in ignorance. The loneliness of intelligence also exposes us to disappointment. We encounter people who betray trust, who act out of weakness, selfishness, or ignorance. We see the consequences of poor decisions with alarming clarity, while others remain blind. And in these moments, we must rely on the Stoic principle of control. Focus not on the errors of others, but on mastering ourselves. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Our solitude becomes a tool, a shield that allows us to maintain equilibrium while the world around us wavers in chaos. Ultimately, the loneliness of intelligence is a crucible. It forges a mind capable of profound understanding, a heart capable of measured response, and a spirit capable of enduring trials that would crush those unprepared for thought. We learn to walk alone, to find solace within our own reason, and to embrace the rare clarity that separates us from the herd. And in this quiet mastery, we discover that being highly intelligent is not about being understood, it is about understanding, and through that understanding, shaping a life of unshakable depth. Loneliness in this sense is not punishment. It is a sign that our mind has grown beyond the ordinary, that our vision has surpassed the surface, and that our strength lies in the very isolation we once feared. Point 2. The curse of overthinking. Intelligence is a gift, but it carries a shadow, the relentless engine of thought that refuses to rest. To be highly intelligent is to inhabit a mind that never settles, a mind that dissects every word, every action, every intention. While others may move through life with ease, guided by habit or instinct, we are consumed by questions, by possibilities, by the what-ifs that lurk behind every choice. This is the curse of overthinking. Seneca warned us of this invisible burden when he said, "We are always complaining that our days are few and acting as though there would be no end of them." The overthinking mind wastes moments on projections and hypotheticals, on threads of reasoning that spiral endlessly. We anticipate outcomes that may never occur, dissect interactions for hidden motives, and replay conversations as if truth were hidden in some unseen pattern. While others act, we ponder. While others forgive, we analyze. And in this ceaseless evaluation, life seems slower, heavier, more intricate than it is for those content to accept surface truths. Overthinking, however, is more than mental exertion. It is a test of character. It is a constant duel between awareness and action, understanding and paralysis. The world demands decisions, yet the overthinking mind hesitates, questioning the morality, the consequences, the potential betrayal. Epictetus reminds us, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and you will go on well." To overthink is to resist the natural flow, to cling to certainty in a universe built on unpredictability. It is an internal rebellion against reality itself. This curse isolates. Few can empathize with the constant scrutiny, the incessant evaluation. Friends may grow impatient, lovers may tire of waiting, and society often punishes hesitation. The intelligent mind becomes a lonely battlefield where every thought is a duel with uncertainty. And yet, this same curse can be transformed into a weapon. Overthinking, when harnessed, cultivates foresight, strategic thinking, and deep understanding. We learn to anticipate pitfalls, to navigate deception, and to act with precision where others act with blind impulse. But the transformation demands discipline. The Stoic way teaches that thought must be tempered by reason, reflection constrained by action. We must recognize the difference between necessary analysis and obsessive rumination. We must train ourselves to act decisively once judgment is clear, to release the chains of what-ifs, and to accept the limits of our control. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The overthinking mind finds freedom not in endless thought, but in mastery over its own patterns, in the courage to act despite uncertainty. The curse of overthinking is also a crucible for resilience. Each doubt overcome, each hesitation transformed into action strengthens character. We emerge capable of seeing the world with clarity, yet moving through it with decisiveness. Overthinking, when mastered, becomes not a trap, but a source of insight, a sign that our intelligence can be disciplined rather than undone. In the end, the highly intelligent do not escape overthinking, they refine it. They learn to channel their thoughts, to discern what requires attention and what can be released. They understand that perfection is an illusion, that certainty is fleeting, and that strength lies in deliberate action guided by reason. This is the paradox of intelligence. The very mind that can trap us in endless reflection also contains the power to navigate life with unmatched clarity and precision.
Point 3. The weight of understanding people. Intelligence grants insight, but insight carries a burden few can bear. To see the motives, the fears, the hidden desires of those around us is to walk with a weight invisible to the careless mind. While others accept appearances and take actions at face value, the highly intelligent perceive layers, the subtle manipulations, the quiet jealousies, the unspoken intentions that drive behavior. This is a gift, yes, but also a relentless weight, a burden that never rests. As Seneca once wrote, We should every night call ourselves to an account. What infirmity have I mastered today? What passions opposed? What temptation resisted? To understand people is to recognize their weaknesses as clearly as your own. You see their cruelty, their pettiness, their selfishness, and you are confronted not with comfort, but with the harsh reality of human nature. You observe how the world operates beneath the veneer of civility, how greed, pride, and fear govern the lives of most. This awareness can isolate. Friends may appear shallow, acquaintances deceptive, and society itself a fragile illusion. The intelligent witness a complexity others ignore, and it is a solitude both necessary and heavy. Yet this understanding is not without power. To see people clearly is to act with precision. The highly intelligent anticipate betrayal, navigate deception, and respond to challenges with calculated strength. Epictetus reminds us, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. The intelligent mind is humble in its vigilance, aware that understanding is infinite and that human behavior is a constant puzzle. Each person becomes a study, every interaction an exercise in discernment. But the burden lies in knowing how little control one has over others. Observation does not guarantee influence. Insight does not create loyalty. You see the patterns, the intentions, the weaknesses, yet the world unfolds in ways beyond your mastery. Marcus Aurelius reflected, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." The weight of understanding people is tempered by the Stoics' recognition of limits. You can perceive, you can anticipate, but you cannot force outcomes. True mastery is an action within your control, not in wishing the world conformed to your insight. This awareness also cultivates emotional resilience. The intelligent learn not to take deception personally, not to be shaken by the petty schemes of others. They understand that human failings are universal, that selfishness is a common thread, and that disappointment is a necessary teacher. Each revelation strengthens detachment. Each observation sharpens judgment. The more clearly we see, the less we are manipulated, the more we act from reason rather than impulse. But the weight is unrelenting. To understand people is to constantly navigate their complexity, to bear witness to betrayal, envy, and desire. Solitude often follows, as those unable to share the depth of this understanding drift away, leaving the intelligent alone with their reflections. Yet in this solitude lies freedom, freedom from manipulation, freedom from the illusions that ensnare others. The highly intelligent walk a lonely path, but it is a path illuminated by clarity, foresight, and reason. In the end, the gift of understanding people is a paradox. It isolates, yet empowers. It burdens, yet strengthens. To carry this weight is to be awake in a world of slumber, to act deliberately where others stumble blindly, to navigate life with foresight born of keen perception. It is a heavy path, but a path towards self-mastery, fortitude, and the quiet authority that comes from seeing the world and its people as they truly are.
Point 4. The struggle of feeling different. Intelligence is a lantern in the dark, illuminating paths others cannot see. But lanterns cast shadows, and those shadows often reveal how isolated one truly is. The highly intelligent feel different, not just in thought, but in perception, in emotional resonance, in the very rhythm of life. They observe patterns, notice subtleties, and anticipate consequences that others miss. To live in this heightened awareness is to be awake while the world slumbers, to understand the currents beneath the surface that everyone else ignores. And yet, this awareness comes with a cost: loneliness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." But to feel different is to experience an internal dissonance that is not easily soothed. You see the shallow games, the fleeting pleasures, the petty rivalries, and your mind recoils from their absurdity. The conversations that enthrall others leave you numb. The humor, the gossip, the mindless distractions all feel trivial when your thoughts stretch into the depths where few dare to venture. The world is loud, chaotic, and repetitive, and your mind moves like a stream of clarity through its murky waters. This difference isolates. Friendships may falter because few can match your depth of thought. Conversations may feel superficial, leaving an echo of emptiness. People may misunderstand you, mislabel your intentions, or dismiss your perspective. The highly intelligent find themselves observing life from the outside, participants in form, but detached in essence. Seneca warned, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." The intelligent witness the waste, and that witness cannot remain blind to it. Yet within this solitude lies power. The sense of being different sharpens discernment. You choose companions carefully, valuing depth over numbers, loyalty over popularity. You navigate life with a quiet authority, unshaken by superficial approval. Your solitude becomes a crucible where character is forged, where reason and reflection temper the impulses that ensnare others. Every moment spent observing, analyzing, and understanding strengthens your resilience and self-mastery. But this path is not without struggle. The internal dialogue of intelligence often borders on existential tension. You question motives, morality, and meaning, and you rarely find complete answers. You sense the world's illusions and feel their weight pressing against the mind that refuses to accept them blindly. And yet, Stoicism teaches that suffering lies not in circumstance, but in judgment. By acknowledging your difference and embracing it, you transform isolation into awareness, alienation into autonomy. Ultimately, the struggle of feeling different is the price of clarity. It is the cost of seeing life with eyes unclouded by ignorance, of perceiving the fragile structures others take for granted. Loneliness is not a punishment, but a companion to wisdom. It is the quiet space where the mind sharpens, where resilience grows, and where the highly intelligent craft a life defined not by the approval of the many, but by the mastery of the self. The world may never fully understand you. The crowd may never admire your vision. Yet, this difference is your gift, a lens through which the chaos of existence becomes discernible, navigable, and ultimately conquerable. To feel different is not a weakness, it is the mark of an awakened mind, tempered in solitude, resilient in thought, and guided by the Stoic principles that turn perception into power and alienation into unshakable strength.
Point 5. The burden of overthinking. To think deeply is both a gift and a curse. Intelligence brings clarity, insight, and the ability to foresee outcomes that escape others. But it also breeds overthinking, a relentless internal dialogue that circles endlessly, dissecting every word, every action, every subtlety of life. We observe, we analyze, we anticipate, and in this intricate mental machinery, we often become prisoners of our own minds. Seneca warned, "If you wish to be loved, love." Yet, the highly intelligent rarely act without careful consideration, and this caution is often mistaken for hesitation, aloofness, or even coldness. Overthinking magnifies uncertainty, and what could be a simple decision becomes a labyrinth of possibilities, each path weighed, measured, and dissected. The mind that sees more can also suffer more, because it comprehends the consequences that others ignore. Overthinking is not merely pondering, it is a relentless questioning of self and others. Every gesture is analyzed, every statement examined, every motive questioned.
We replay conversations, imagining outcomes, predicting reactions, and feeling the weight of potential mistakes before they even occur. This constant mental activity is exhausting, and it isolates us further, for few can endure the intensity of such scrutiny without faltering. The intelligent witness the world's chaos and try to impose order on it internally, yet the world rarely bends to such clarity. Yet the Stoics teach us that this burden can be transformed into strength. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Overthinking is only a torment if we allow our judgments to be enslaved by fear, doubt, or desire for control. To master this mental torrent is to cultivate self-discipline, to recognize which thoughts serve us and which imprison us. Reflection becomes a tool, not a trap. Anticipation becomes preparation, not anxiety. The challenge is learning to act despite the noise of thought. The highly intelligent often delay decisions, seeking perfect understanding in an imperfect world. But Stoicism teaches us that perfection is unattainable, that life is a flux of events beyond our control, and that true mastery comes from deliberate, composed action in the face of uncertainty. By observing our overthinking without surrendering to it, we transform mental burden into calculated wisdom, patience, and foresight. Moreover, overthinking sharpens discernment. We perceive subtleties, recognize patterns, and detect deceptions that escape others. While this vigilance isolates, it also protects. In the Stoic worldview, awareness of human folly and the unpredictability of life is not a weakness, it is preparation. Every second spent analyzing strengthens our resilience, hones our judgment, and cultivates the mental fortitude necessary to navigate a world often guided by impulse rather than reason. The burden of overthinking is a silent companion, present in moments of solitude and reflection. It weighs heavily, yet it also elevates. It separates the thoughtful from the superficial, the insightful from the ignorant, and the self-aware from the distracted. To live with such intensity is not easy. It is a constant negotiation between mind and action, reflection and decisiveness. Yet by embracing this struggle, by channeling overthinking into disciplined thought, the highly intelligent become architects of their destiny, navigating life with precision, awareness, and a resilience unmatched by those who never pause to see beyond the surface. In the end, overthinking is both a curse and a gift, a challenge and a teacher. To master it is to embrace the Stoic path, to recognize the weight of thought, to discern its value, and to act decisively in accordance with reason. It is the burden of awareness, the price of clarity, and the mark of a mind capable of shaping its own life, unshaken by impulse, undeterred by uncertainty, and guided by the quiet, unyielding strength of reason. Point 6. The loneliness of the intelligent. To possess intelligence is to dwell in a world few can enter. We observe, we analyze, and we perceive nuances that others overlook. Yet this awareness comes at a price: loneliness. Not the fleeting solitude that comforts the mind, but a profound isolation that arises when the depth of our understanding sets us apart from the majority. We see motives, patterns, and consequences with clarity, and in doing so, we often find ourselves misunderstood, misjudged, or alienated. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." But in the life of the highly intelligent, harm is not always physical. It is subtle, emotional, and societal. We recognize the fragility of human nature, the small-mindedness of ignorance, and the repetitive folly of those around us. This recognition does not make us cruel, nor does it make us better. It merely separates us. Conversations that seem trivial or repetitive weigh heavily, while true depth and insight are rare and seldom appreciated. The loneliness of the intelligent is compounded by our need for reflection. We must retreat inward, examine thoughts, and deliberate before acting. This withdrawal is essential for clarity, yet it is often misinterpreted as detachment or arrogance. We do not seek the company of fools, not out of disdain, but out of preservation. The Stoics remind us that to live in accordance with reason is to prioritize virtue over popularity, wisdom over approval, and truth over comfort. And yet, in this isolation, there is a silent strength. Solitude allows us to cultivate inner fortitude, sharpen judgment, and refine our character. Seneca said, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." In solitude, free from the noise of distraction and the influence of shallow minds, we confront ourselves fully. We wrestle with fear, desire, and uncertainty, and emerge stronger, disciplined, and unshakable. Loneliness becomes a crucible, forging resilience that those constantly surrounded by others cannot attain. Moreover, the intelligent understand that the world is rarely aligned with insight. Most live governed by impulse, emotion, and superficial concerns. This reality can feel alienating, yet it empowers. Observing without attachment, acting without expectation, and perceiving without judgment, this is the Stoic approach to life. Our intelligence becomes a shield, our solitude a sanctuary, and our awareness a guide in a world often uncomprehending and chaotic. The challenge lies not in existing alone, but in reconciling with the paradox of connection. We desire meaningful engagement, yet few can meet us there. Those who do are rare. Other thinkers, reflective souls, or kindred spirits. Until then, we navigate our isolation with dignity, cultivating the inner life as our truest companion. In this silent, dark space, free from the demands of the world, we learn patience, empathy, and mastery over our own minds. Loneliness for the highly intelligent is not weakness, it is a mirror of depth. It is the cost of perception, the shadow of insight, and the price of a mind unwilling to settle for superficiality. To endure it is to embrace the Stoic path, to find strength within, to act with reason, and to remain undisturbed by the trivialities of those who cannot see as we see. The world may never fully understand us, but in this quiet, deliberate solitude, we discover clarity, purpose, and the unshakable fortitude of a mind attuned to truth. In essence, loneliness is both punishment and gift. It isolates, yet it enlightens. It separates, yet it strengthens. And for the intelligent, it is the silent companion that cultivates wisdom, resilience, and the rare ability to navigate life with a mind unclouded by distraction, fear, or folly. Point 7. The weight of awareness. Intelligence is not merely the ability to solve problems or recognize patterns. It is the relentless awareness of life's truths, both subtle and brutal. The highly intelligent see the world in layers that others ignore. The fleeting nature of pleasure, the inevitability of loss, the fragility of human trust, and the hidden currents that drive human behavior. Awareness is a gift, but it is also a burden, a weight that presses upon the mind, demanding constant vigilance, reflection, and understanding. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth, by which no one was ever truly harmed." The highly intelligent carry this openness to truth like a sword, but with it comes the weight of seeing reality as it is, rather than as they wish it to be. We perceive deception, hypocrisy, and ignorance not as mere annoyances, but as fundamental aspects of human nature. While others live in blissful naivety, we must navigate the currents of life fully conscious of their hidden dangers. This weight manifests in decision-making. Every choice, no matter how small, is filtered through the lens of consequences, intentions, and moral clarity. To act without foresight feels reckless. To act without purpose feels dishonorable. The highly intelligent are burdened not by indecision, but by responsibility, to themselves, to the truths they perceive and to the ripple effects of their actions. Seneca reminds us, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Awareness magnifies this truth. Every wasted moment, every trivial pursuit, every dishonest interaction weighs heavier on those attuned to life's realities. Awareness also sharpens perception of human emotion. We read subtle cues, hesitation, tone, expression, and intuit motives before they are spoken. This insight allows us to protect ourselves and to guide others, but it also creates distance. We are perpetually observing, analyzing, and interpreting, unable to fully surrender to impulse or ignorance. In a world ruled by emotion and spectacle, our minds act as vigilant sentinels, guarding against folly, while simultaneously craving understanding and authenticity. Yet within this weight lies power. Awareness grants clarity, foresight, and the ability to act with reason rather than reaction. It allows the intelligent to navigate chaos with composure, to endure hardship without surrender, and to perceive opportunity where others see only confusion. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Awareness makes our reactions deliberate, calculated, and unshakable. It is both armor and compass, guiding us through the storm of human life. The burden of awareness is not meant to crush us, it is meant to refine us. The weight teaches patience, discernment, and resilience. It forces introspection, self-mastery, and the constant evaluation of values. It separates the mind from frivolity, the soul from distraction, and the heart from impulsive desire. In this crucible, the highly intelligent transform the heaviness of perception into a rare form of freedom. The freedom to act wisely, to understand deeply, and to remain undisturbed by the chaos around them. In the end, the weight of awareness is a paradox. It isolates yet empowers. It burdens yet enlightens. The highly intelligent bear it with quiet dignity, embracing the solitude, responsibility, and insight it brings. It is the silent measure of our depth, the invisible test of our character, and the mark of minds that cannot settle for ignorance. To live with this awareness is not easy, but it is the path to mastery over self, over circumstances, and over the fleeting illusions that ensnare the majority of humanity.
If this video opened your eyes even a little to the truths most people ignore, don't let it end here. Take what you've learned, apply it, and watch yourself grow stronger, calmer, and more in control of your life. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because here, we don't follow the noise of the world, we learn how to master ourselves. Join us and step into the mindset that few ever dare to cultivate. Remember, strength is silent, wisdom is quiet, and the truly powerful act without announcing it. See you in the next video.